What's up? Light 'em if you got 'em, y'all. It is me, Craig X, and it is 420. At least it is on the West Coast here. If it was your 420, well, join us for another. If it's not your 420, well, join us for a warm-up. Anyway, thank you very much for toking up and tuning in this week. Happy to have you here. Going to be a good show. I'm really excited about this one. This is episode 110, and we're calling it One Man Band. Could have actually called it the One Man Grow Squad or something too, but anyway, we'll get into that. Thanks for tuning in. Last week, though, of course, we had Crazy Dago on the show. We had Dylan and Molly from Grassroots Medicinal on the show, as well as some products from Grassroots Medicinal, and of course, the Saltwater Cowboy, Tim McBride, Skyped in. So that was super cool. Thanks for him. We've also got back the big computer this week, because fuck that piece of shit from last week. Anyway, it was dope. I appreciate you guys being here. Speaking to you guys, chat room, Silver Lake, 420 Wild Dragon, Tie Me Up, Detonator, Kimberly Knows What's Going On, Juice 0723, Isabel S. Hey, Izzy, Pierre A, Bree S. Good to see all y'all folks. Appreciate you coming through. Dustin Anderson, Ray Mark, also Ciara. Also appreciate all you guys over on Facebook there. Token up and tuning in every week. You guys got to see this, man. This is going to be a really good one. On the show this week, we've got Vancouver musician Alex Maher on the show. He's going to be kicking it off here shortly for it, so don't go anywhere. Also, Fregrowli is going to have some grow tips for us. And the Wellness Soldier Cody Lindsay is going to do some chronic cooking to kick it off. Plus products on the show from the squad. Thompson Caribou hooking up many a product. Actually, big shouts to Thompson Caribou for the support. Not only are they sponsoring season 3, they sent over some products. Actually, a really nice gift pack that includes some White Castle flour, a couple kinds of shatter, some new lotions, a bunch of stuff. And if Canada Post would have delivered it on time, I would have it here. But they didn't, so fuckers. So luckily, I had actually in some old packaging, but I wanted to upgrade to put the new packaging. So it's some hybrid stuff. These labels, this package, you see. I had some TCC products in the DAB fridges. So shouts to the squad. I will be smoking their products, but not their flowers this week. So we'll see those flowers and their lotions and all that good stuff in a couple of weeks when we get it back in there. In the meantime, we'll put it in the DAB cam. We'll get that happening. We'll smoke some of my own flowers this week because, well, I happen to have some leftovers from the Temple of Calyx as well as from the Liberty Farm. So shouts to the Temple and the farms for hooking it up. We will get to all of that. Make sure, of course, you check out the Thompson Caribou guys at thompsoncaribou.com, Team Shatterbrew710 on Instagram, Thompson Caribou on Twitter, and Thompson Caribou on Facebook, of course. That's that. What am I smoking? Well, I'll show you in the bud cam. There's no point rolling another one because I'm just going to smoke this one. But I'll show you what it looks like. This is the Hindu Kush from the Temple of Calyx that I am smoking on because of Canada Post. Brought to you by Canada Post's fuck up instead of Thompson Caribou. But anyway, in the meantime, what is this stupid message? Why don't you, what the, I get the stupidest alerts. Anyway, that is some delicious looking bud from the guys at the Temple. In the meantime, like I said, we got something really special. The first time we've not necessarily had a live performance on the show because we did do the 420 live from Vancouver, 420 Sunset Beach, and there was all kinds of live performances, but I've had some rappers also do some freestyles in the studio. But what have I not had? I've not had a musician come in and tear it up for a minute, and that's what's going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, after 110 episodes, I'm finally to say I'm happy to have one of the dopest musicians in Vancouver. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Maher.
want you to know. And anywhere I am is where I want you to go. Now I just wanna love you. And anywhere I am, I have expert choice. I wanna be your man. Hey, so give it to me. Give me that funk, that sweet, that fancy, that she's stuff. But don't bullshit me, mama. Give me that funk, that sweet, that fancy, that she's stuff. Come on, give it to me. Give me that funk, that sweet, that fancy, that she's stuff. But don't bullshit me, mama. Give me that funk, that sweet, that fancy, that she's stuff.
Fucking dope. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you he's the man. Scared off Parker though, a little bit too loud for the boy today, but other than that, man, come on in. That was amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite musicians in town. What's going on?
Thanks for having me.
Man, appreciate it. Welcome to Studio 710, dog.
This is awesome.
Right? Of course, like I said, we've had some other musicians or rappers on the show before, but no one playing instruments and fully actually doing the whole live gig and that. So I really appreciate you not only lugging all this stuff up in here, but coming through and to perform for us, man.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a treat to be doing something like this.
First time I saw you was a Wednesday night at the Granville Room a few years back, but it's really, really cool to finally have you here. And let's get into it. How did you get into music, bro?
I started playing sax, drums, and guitar when I was 11 in the public school system in Toronto. I don't know, I started on sax mainly and sort of self-taught on the rest, but started taking private lessons when I was in about the 8th grade and didn't quit those until I was about 21, 22.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you come from like a musical background? Like were your parents into it or whatever?
My dad would always be playing guitar and on camping trips he'd always make up like freestyle folk songs about us when we were camping around the campfire.
Yeah.
But my brother is 4 years older than me, so he's been a big musical influence just because I got to listen to everything that he was listening to, as well as he also played sax when he was in school as well. So
little known Craig X fact, I played saxophone in grade 5 for like 4, maybe 5 months. Wasn't really particularly good at it, but it was still very, very cool. I was asked by one of the camera guys, hey, you pick it back up, remember? I could put it together, but that's about it. I could turn it on, but I can't make it go. No, it was awesome, man. Other musical inspirations besides the old man. I mean, it ought to be James Brown, the hardest working man in showbiz, but no. What else should it be?
My high school program on Vancouver Island was very strong. I had the same guy that taught Diana Krall and a bunch of other jazz legend people. His name's Brian Stovall. And from grade 8 through till grad, we competed every year nationally at Music Fest Canada. Had like I was the front sax. I was basically the front man of a 23-piece jazz orchestra from grade 8 till grade 12. So that was really sort of formative experience.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's leading quite the band.
Yeah.
Of course, you've played in a couple bands as well too, and worked with a lot of other musicians. You're, not just a one-man band, which I know we joke around with that sort of a title and shit. You obviously don't have a drum machine to your back or cymbals between your knees. It's a loop pedal for those astutely enough pointed that out in the chat room, but it's really cool, man.
Yeah, the loop pedal. That loop pedal that I'm using, the Line 6 DL4, came out over 20 years ago.
Right.
I think maybe 20 years ago, something like that. And it was primarily a guitar looper for the longest time. And then I was like, oh, there's 2 inputs on this thing. I can put a mic in there, and I kind of started looping mic-based sounds like beatbox and sax at the same time, and kind of just evolved. And the next thing you know, I had a drum machine that I was playing into it, and now all the gear barely fits in my car, but it can still fit in the elevator. So
I kind of started the show with a laptop and one webcam, and you see what it grows into. Now I can't even carry it all in the car at this point. But well, that's awesome, man. The first time I ever saw anybody do something similar to this was actually back in like '04 when KT Tunstall did Black Horse and a Cherry Tree on the Jules Holland show. And I remember seeing that the first time, and I was just like, the fuck is this? Wow, that's kind of impressive just to watch it all build. Because I've got friends who, are musicians and stuff, and I see building songs like in the studio with, the machines and all the bits and producers mixing it as they go and building a song. But to actually watch one person kind of build the whole and play all of the stuff for one song, very, very cool, man. You're a talented musician, man.
Thanks, Craig.
And I obviously, I like that Jay-Z cover, man. It's one of my favorites that you've done. You make it look easy and sound even sweeter, though. But I think still to me, maybe I'm biased, but a lot of people, when they hear you play that sax and that sax harmony you do with it and shit like that, is really, really neat with that loop pedal. So not glad I didn't stay with just guitars.
Yeah, it's been evolving for the whole time that I started doing it, and it kind of keeps going. I kind of want to add a keyboard now with some extra bass sounds and some other stuff. I don't know.
Right. How many other instruments do you play? Like
just keyboard and drums.
Oh, okay.
I don't fancy myself a trumpet player or accordionist at all.
No accordions in the mix.
No.
Shouts to Weird Al. And I think honestly, lugging around that drum machine, you're gonna need a bigger car. I saw the size of your trunk. You're gonna need a little bit bigger car.
Well, you know what? Everything fits in my car, so I'm cool to minimize.
At least you've got the machine, not the whole set, not the whole drum kit.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to worry about hanging onto a drum kit.
No, man, that's too much. Well, I've seen you do a bunch of tracks like that. Obviously, you go into Google and put your name in there. One of the first things that come up is the track that you just did there. You do a killer version of Regulate, Warren G. Man, even Level 42, Something About You. I've seen the Murder That. A bunch more. What else? I've seen Stevie Wonder tracks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you have pretty wide variety of people you play from.
Yeah, I kind of just pick songs that I like and that I can pull off, basically.
Right. But you're not just like a cover artist, if you will. You write your own stuff, and you've actually got a new album coming out, or that came out this year as well, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been actually. I used to put out a lot more albums. It was about 10 years before I put out my most recent album, Ether, which came out in February. But now I kind of got the juices flowing again, and I'm working on another album as well. But yeah, Ether came out in February 2017, and we were a bit too late to apply for some of the festivals last summer. Still got a couple, but now we're definitely applying for next summer's festival circuit as best we can, and trying to transition from the corporate world into the festival world.
Right.
Yeah.
Playing clubs, you play a lot of clubs, and we'll get into some of that. I know you got shows coming up. But speaking of the new album, Ether, do you think I could maybe get you to step back up and play one of the tracks
Absolutely.
off it? What are you going to play?
I'm going to play the 5th song, No One Else.
Tell us a story about the track.
No One Else is a song that I wrote basically as a lamentation about the perils of road rage and sort of societal. I kind of wrote it based on road rage, but it's more of a societal plea to be nice to each other.
Killer.
Yeah.
Then, when you're ready, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, with this track off the Ether EP, once again, it's my man, Alex Maher.
do I begin? I was pulled from my sin by 100 kilometers away. My memory is hazy. How did I ever get this lazy? It's crazy. And we're all so complicit, all 7 billion of us so unwilling to listen. And although I'm moving faster, it's just cruising to disaster. And I know your pain. It's just another day. Keeping all my excuses to myself. Love to no one else. That's how we're gonna survive this. Let's treat each other with kindness. And then breaking the silence. Had enough of the violence. We would go again. And the race back home starts surviving. But nobody ever wins in it. It's just a matter of a way that you can deal with it. I don't mind if you're mad and you're hungry. It's alright if you're sad and you're lonely. It's no matter what the weather, we're on this together. And I know you're pain. It's just another day. Keeping all my excuses to myself. I love to no one else. That's how we're gonna survive this. Let's treat each other with kindness. And then breaking the silence.
Man, that's fucking dope, man. That track killed it.
Oh, thank you.
In the chat room, absolutely going crazy on both Facebook, loving that whole track. People from all around the world saying hello. Really, really impressed with you. You're a total badass.
Oh, thanks.
YouTube as well too. Really enjoying it. So smooth, loving it. So it's super cool. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
Man. Yeah, I wish we had. I wish we had a studio audience here for this, man. More people here to appreciate it. Anthony, you enjoying? Yes. Andrew, you're good with it? Yeah, good. That's good to hear. So tell us about this EP, Ether.
Ether is an album that I was able to put together. Ether is basically a reference to Aristotle and like back in the day, Greek mythology. The ether was the fifth element of the cosmos and like all that sort of lies beyond this earth. And I kind of just use it as as an image of light, because I basically waited around for 10 years in the darkness before I came out of a really bad place and was able to put an album together. And yeah, Ether is a collection of songs that it's a 5-song EP, so there's a collection of songs that are sort of really close to my heart and helped me sort of make the next evolution in my career and kind of get back into the game. Yeah, I don't know. Basically, for the 10 years before Ether came out, the last album before that was in 2007 with my my old group DNA 6.
Right.
That's sort of a hip hop fusion funk kind of situation. So that group kind of went its separate ways, kind of halfway in between here and there.
Yeah.
And then a loss of a couple close friends and a period of addiction that I was able to come out of. And basically, Ether was brought to you by the lack of drug addiction in not harmful drug addiction.
I get it. And for those speaking of why Alex is not smoking tonight, we're going to touch on this as well, too. You got a show later on this evening.
Yes.
Yeah, and my man doesn't like to blaze before the shows. Now, we have smoked after several of your shows many a time.
Yes.
Right? So we're not going to be, he's unfortunately not going to be smoking with us. Maybe I get him to take a little dab before he goes or something. No, I appreciate it, man. Great to hear that project, came about and it took as long as it did, but it's great, man. Of course, all the other songs off it as well too are awesome. Available, of course, on iTunes and
Spotify. My website would be my preferred place to go.
You mean this website here?
That website right there, yeah. But yeah, it's on all the other channels for sure.
And that's Alex Maher Music, mahermusic.com. I don't know why I keep saying that. I think because when
It's
I
hard
first
for people to pronounce, I understand.
Right, it's all good. I think just a natural sort of thing. One of the first times I heard it, I think that's how I heard you introduced as, and it just, for whatever reason, it stuck, resonated. So
I don't even correct people when they say it Mayor or whatever, because
it just is what it is.
Yeah.
That's okay. I get Greg all the time still, so we're fine. So I did call you one of the hardest working musicians in Vancouver. You've literally played every venue. You're always playing gigs. You got gigs practically almost every night, regular appearances, semi-regular appearances at places. You tour. You've worked with a bunch of different artists that come through. I mean, how do you find time for it all? Or how do you stay so busy? I mean, what's the...
I basically have come to a point where I'm able to take on a certain amount of work, and then I've actually I've been fortunate enough to been able to decide, pick my spots in my week where I want to be busy. It's taken some doing, and I've had to, because most musicians, they'll take as much as they can handle all the time, and if they're starting to get hired a lot, they'll just keep grinding, and they won't even realize that it's a grind once they're grinding it. I recently freed up a couple spots in my week so that I could write another album and spend more time, because basically 6-7 gigs a week, you don't really have a lot of time to or energy to sort of come home or get up and work on another song, another album.
Right.
So trying to find a balance between making hay while the sun's shining and planting seeds for when the sun should be shining later on.
Right.
I just made that up. It doesn't sound right.
It's we talk about planting seeds. It's good, but I feel you. I mean, you don't if you burn yourself out too much now, it's hard to be able to follow up on other projects for later on. I get it. Where's some of the shows that for people who are around Vancouver? Where can they catch you? Sort of in if they're trying to find a night with Alex somewhere.
Tuesday night at the Kiefer Bar in Chinatown. Wednesday night at the Blind Sparrow in the West End. Thursday night at Prohibition in the Georgia Hotel.
Hey, it's Thursday night tonight.
Thursday nights right now. Second Friday of every month I play at Big Rock Urban, and Saturday nights I play at the Clue Club in Gastown.
Like I said, man, the dude works, puts in work, man. What about tour dates? You just kind of did a tour, did you not?
I went out to Winnipeg and back in August, and I did also a couple dates in Toronto, and that was a lot of fun. Haven't been on tour ever by myself, so that was a really cool experience. And yeah, I just went out there. My lady and I rented a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and we brought our dog, and it was a very awesome tour, and it was kind of half a vacation as well. But
that's dope, man. I mean, you got to have a happy wife, happy life, if you will, if you know that, right? But no, happy dog. is really what it comes down to. Parker's good for the most part. It's just the loud music and it's just got him a little bit like, what's going on? But he's kind of in and out of the studio. You know, he's a little unsettled anyway. I appreciate it though. You know,
Oh, yeah.
He's a very small portion of the audience. A very small dog demographic watches this show. So I think
Their hearing's a lot more sensitive.
it is.
than ours,
It's
so.
true. It's true. He could have maybe stayed home today, but he seemed to want to come, so I gave him his choices. Anyway, that said, what is coming up next for you? Is another tour, some collabs, another album? What's on the priority list for Alex of coming next?
Priority is doing another album as efficiently and as soon as I can. So I have a few tracks in the hopper, and I'm going to be looking to collab with some friends of mine, if possible.
Yeah.
If not, I'll go rogue and do it. But it's a matter of scheduling and and energy and whatnot. But I also have a lot of shows coming up. One particular.
Yeah, I was just saying, what about more shows coming up? What?
I would definitely be hyping up the Anza Club showcase on November 30th, which is coming up pretty soon. It's I hosted an open mic night at the Anza Club from 2004 until only recently, and I kind of passed the torch on to my good friend Jess Vira.
Yeah.
But we're doing a showcase, trying to launch a sort of once or twice a year showcase event at the Anza, where you get a prize for the winner, and we kind of select the performers out of the sort of stream of performers for the open mic night. But that'll be going on at the Anza Club on November 30th. It's going to be a really dope event.
Make sure you check that out. Yeah, that event has a good reputation.
Yeah.
Like that. And then, of course, tonight you've got a show at Prohibition.
At Prohibition in the Rosewood at the Georgia Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and that's just a few blocks from here. That's for those who are interested. That is Hornby or Howe and Georgia. If you want to go on down, nice hotel, nice club.
It's like 1 block from me.
Right? It's just literally practically kitty corner from here. It is so close. So I know you do have to pack up and get ready for that, but I'll try and keep the questions short. I just have 4 more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There are favorite 4 questions. Now, I know you're not blazing the day because you have the show tonight, of course, but how and when did you get into smoking weed or cannabis in general?
I think when I was in high school, my jazz combo drummer busted out a doobie after a gig at a golf club when I was in about the 12th or 11th grade, as I recall.
You know, it sounds kind of similar. So those jazz musicians,
Yeah,
they've been
it's
warning about us, those jazz musicians since the 20s, man.
Yeah.
They knew it was going to get you back then.
Absolutely.
And now, preferred method of consumption, typically?
I roll doobies, old school.
Well, if Canada Post wouldn't have fucked us over, right now I would be applying some nice Thompson Caribou lotion.
yeah.
They've got some nice CBD healing creams, some THC creams and stuff like that. Rub it on your hands, get them all limber.
Definitely down with that.
Right, limber for the show and shit like that. Yes. Well, you come
Good
back
for my
another.
arthritis.
It's getting bad, Alice. No, I definitely think that we'll be able to hook you up with that some other time, man. I could actually use some on my face right now too because it hurts. But anyway, thanks, Canada Post. Also, so I mean, how much do you smoke? What's your sort of consumption sort of routine?
I'm a once a week guy.
Yeah.
Usually I blaze on Sundays. It's my 1 day off. Now I have 2 days. I have Mondays off too as well. So I might be alternating Sundays. and
Doubling your
Mondays.
schedule, or maybe doubling up.
You know what? I'm probably gonna keep it to once a week. I don't know.
Keep focused.
I gotta stay focused.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. And then when you look back at like kind of all the different bags that have come across or all the different strains that you've seen and had, you look back, God, there's like this one that just stands out more than all the else, with the most memorable bag you ever had. And if you can't get it again, well, we call it the one that got away. What's yours?
Oh, the one that, well, can I pick one that's my favorite that I can sometimes get, but then have my one that got away?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so my favorite has got to be Romulan. I love Romulan. It makes me clean my whole house and it makes me get things done.
There you go.
But the one that got away, I got to talk about the Cali Orange. My bro Timmy Boom Bap, one of my drummer buddies.
Oh, shouts to Timmy Boom Bap,
Yeah,
man.
Timmy
He's
Boom
dope.
Bap. One time we were doing a gig in Banff and he had a jar of this stuff called Cali Orange and it was like crisp citrusy air. It was so light and wonderful, and I miss it forever because I've never seen it again.
I might have had known where he had got that. Shouts to Timmy, man. Yeah, it's a talented drummer, man. That guy murders it, man. I could see you two sounding real nice together if you all got a chance to play together. Mm-hmm. But there are still some Calios around. I've seen a few. Jeremiah Vandermeer, editor-in-chief of Pod TV, Cannabis Culture, he's a big fan of the Calio. He'll back you on that all day.
Nice.
And I do remember going back a number of years ago, there were a couple really, really sweet variants of that rock and roll. And so I don't disagree with you, my friend. Mm-hmm. Lastly, I guess I want to know is shouts, plugs, anything we've sort of forgot or missed?
Go on the internet and buy my album, please.
Buy the album. Go to the iTunes. Go to the Spotify.
Go to my website. iTunes isn't
You
good.
mean
that?
This album?
Yes.
This album right here. I happen to have one here. Maybe I can puff pass it along to somebody at some point. Let me figure out, give it away today or give it along one of the puff pass it along packs. Very, very cool, man. I appreciate you supporting that. And make sure you support our boy, Alex.
Thank you so much for having me.
I know you got to get out to Prohibition. You're going to be tearing down for a minute. Before you put your gear away, can we get one more out of you?
Absolutely.
My man.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Of course, you can check him, Alex Maher Music, M-A-H-E-R Music, across social media, and Alex Maher Music, M-A-H-E-R Music.com. Catch the night at Prohibition at the Hotel Georgia with that for the final time. Alex Maher.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. When Jeep was on the streets, trying to consume some skirts for the east, so I can get some fun rolling in my ride, chilling all alone. This hit the east side of the LBC. Pushing, trying to find Mr. Warren G. You see the car full of girls that beneath the twink. Your skirts know which of ways to unstrip. So I hook select onto one and do it. And put the sheet in place, so I said, let's do this. It jumps up my ride and said, what's up? I'm about to put some gas, so I said, I'm stuck. This has peeping me, I'm the lightest firm. As if we're looking to on this road, hit the curve. To get better thing than some horny chicks. To see my homie and says, like us all in his mix. I'm getting jacked, breaking myself. Can't believe the ticket warrants well. They took my rings, took my Rolex. Looked at the brothers and damn, what's the next? Got me home and hemmed up, they all around. Look at the scene if they going straight half a path. Got my real before they start to clown. The best pull 'em a strap and lay them bust to that. Got guns to my head, think I'm going down. Can't believe it's happening in my own town. To find wings I would fly, let me contemplate. Guys in the church, they see my homie Nate. And in the clip, one in the hole, dude's dog is about to mix about his turn cold. Dropping and yelling, it's a savage lane. Dave's dog Warren G had to regulate. I laid on the mustard down and let my gut explode, switching my mind back into freak mode. If you want skirts, sit back and observe. I just flip the gang on those over there when I'm good. Now they got the freaks, that's a known fact. But I got gangs, it was on the same track. Back up, cause it's on N-A-T-E in me. I'm the woman to the G. Now just like I'm dumb, they were in the same spot. Indeed of some desperate hill. Names organ and each shot, we're in need of some dudes. One of them names was sexy as hell. I said, oh, I like your size. He said my car's broke down and it seemed real nice. Would you let me ride? I got a car full of girls, it's going real swell. The next stop is the East Side Motel. Well, I'm tweaking to a whole new era. G-Funk stemmed to this idea. Funk on a whole new level. The rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble. Chords, strings, we brings melody. And G-Funk, where rhythm is life and life is a rhythm. If you know like I know, you don't want to something this. It's the G-Funk era, funk down with the gangsta twist. And if you smoke like I smoke, then you're high like every day. And if your ass is a bastard, 213 will regulate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Maher.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here. Make sure you check him out, support him tonight at Prohibition. Also, alexmahermusic.com. That was fantastic, man. Easily one of the best things that's ever been on the show, man.
Thank you so much.
Much love, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Woo! Andrew?
We get it. You're busy crafting the finest product this land has to offer. But a fine product means fine packaging. You wouldn't get married in a tracksuit, would you? Whether it's extracts, shatter, butter, CBD oil, edibles, or just cannabis, Jade Maple takes care of your fine product with fine design at a fine price. Check out more fine solutions at jademaple.com.
Start packing up. Yes, a little quiet, Andrew. I don't know if it was on their end, but it was here. But that was brought to you by Jade Maple and Top Leaf, jademaple.com and topleaf.ca. This joint here, well, this particular nug of this joint here is some Lindsay from the folks at the farm. It's time for doing some dabs, I think, though. Break out some of this Blissful Wizard sugar from the squad. Don't you think it sounds about like dab time to me, Andrew? Does you? Yes, Anthony? Yes, yes? Then maybe it should be time to take a dab. Y'all ready? It's dab time. Yes, of course. The show is also always brought to us by Grassroots Medicinal Lone Tree Concentrates, Top Leaf, of course, too. Folks at TCC all make it happen. Thanks to TCC here from ThompsonCaribouConcentrates.com. What's up, Alex? That was so much fun, man. And yes, he is available on Spotify. And no, I don't think I can keep him locked in the studio for the next several weeks. Might be able to get him back again. He's always welcome. If you ever got time in your schedule on a Thursday, please come bless us. You're more than welcome. But yes, get him out Spotify and, of course, Alex Maher, Maher, music.com. That's the best way you can support our man here. And the show rolls on as I start to roll a joint out of instinct. In the dab cam, over here on the dab cam, is some of the Blissful Wizard sugar. That actually, it's funny, the color changed as it came back. It looked nicer when it first switched over. The glare with these cameras is always the hard part. But anyway, it's fire. When I told Squad that I still had some of this left, they were like, what? Oh, I'm jealous. So you know what my reply was? I'll mail it to you. Fucking Canada Post, sons of bitches. Yes, that was a fantastic performance. This is some fantastic product. I'm going to go ahead and hit a dab. I hope you guys are ready for dab time, because it is definitely dab time around here. So, oops. There it goes. You can't run from me. You're getting smoked whether you like it or not, motherfucker. You're not good. So, Andrew, dab time? Good? Yes? Yes? Everybody? Everybody? Dab time. So good. Alex, can I talk you into one before you go?
Looks delicious.
Yeah, all right, all right. He's packing up over there. At one point, there was a graphic for all this as well, too, but maybe I wrote it in the notes wrong. Probably my bad. Anyway, yes, we're doing dab time. That one, yeah, that one, Andrew. Yes, so yes, dab time. It's okay. It's his first day. Holy fuck. I'm telling you, that's how you get the workout, though. Don't make a guy laugh while he's coughing and taking a dab all at the same time. Come on. Woo! Nothing hits like a sublimator, boy. I tell you. What? All right. Woo! God damn, if you need dabs for dab time, man, hit up the cats at Thompson Caribou Concentrates, man. Holler at the Squad for sure. This shit is no joke. This Blissful Wizard sugar is probably, and obviously, you know, you're going to tell me I'm biased because of my affiliation with them sponsoring the episode, shit like that. But, okay, I'll even make it easier then. No question, top 5 product I had in 2017. Easy hands down, arguably top 3. Holy fuck, this shit is good. The Blissful Wizard sugar is amazing, amazing. Also, the Pink Death, the Granddaddy Purple, and the Pot of Gold. I'll start releasing a few more of those through the shows, as well as I also roll up a little bit of the Lindsay. So, you know, it's just all going to just be a slippery slope, but that's okay. I also thought Cushy said she might stop by, but I haven't seen her. As Alex takes off and gets ready to the show, I do that dab. ThompsonCaribou.com, Team Shatterboo710 on Instagrams, Thompson Caribou Twitter, Thompson Caribou Concentrates on Facebook. If you're over the age of 19, of course, and have permission from your medical provider, and have filled out their little form. It's very simple, though, to obtain all those things. Holler at the Squad. And of course, just another tip for you. You can save on your first purchase with Thompson Caribou Concentrates if you click the Join the Squad link on expertjoints.com and CannabisLifeNetwork.com. Just a little tip for you. I've also got another tip for you, some grow tips, actually. Yes, Grow Tips, one of our new Season 3 segments, and this week I've got another weed tuber with us. You know him from GrowTube and a few more shows. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Fregrowli to the show.
How you doing, Craig? Thanks for having me out, man.
Good, man. I can't hear you a little bit. If we can maybe turn up these... That's a little better now, you say?
Test, 1, 2, 3. How we doing?
Hey, there we go. That's better. I was on our end here. It's a lot of buttons I make Andrew press every day back there. There's a lot of them to do. And, you know, he's Sometimes he likes to mess with me. No, it's cool. We're good. Yes, we can see you and hear you. For those who don't know, you want to introduce yourself a little bit further to the audience?
Sure. I'm Fergrowli. It's me. I've been on the GrowTube, like Craig said, for about a year now. That's actually where I met Craig last week. Thanks for coming on, man. That was a great show. Gearing up for the tomorrow night show too. That's every Friday night on Crazy Dago stream. But yeah, I've been growing for a handful of years here down in Michigan, and things are progressively changing very quickly, kind of back and forth. But we're just kind of gearing up for what's to come. I've been honing in on my skills, kind of hunting our strains out, figuring out how to extract and all that good stuff. And that's where a lot of my videos kind of went on YouTube. A lot of like kind of instructional or demo type videos with a lot of the best value Vax products that they've been giving me. But yeah, I'm just loving it, man. Loving the YouTube life, loving the grow life, and the High Times Cups, man. It's always great seeing just everybody there. It seems to be the gathering point for our community.
Yeah, you're known for your videos on YouTube and, of course, your extractions as well, too. But you do know more than a thing or two about growing. And actually, it was, last Friday on Dago's show where you said you want to drop by the show and offer up a couple of grow tips. So, Fregrowli, what's your grow tip?
Well, you guys had talked about some seeds and clones and tips like that, and recent episodes here on Expert Joints. And I'll admit, a lot of the success you grow does start with genetics, but I think even before you acquire those, you got to think about something else, and that's, in my opinion, garden automation and environmental controls. Something that can benefit everyone from the closet grower to even the commercial grow op. Plants like consistency, and I always try to think of working smarter, not harder. And by combining those two ideas and just really a handful of electronics, you can set up our grow nearly start to finish to work for us instead of working for it. And that makes things pretty easy on the grower. It allows you to get into things like extractions and hone your cloning techniques and things like that.
It makes a lot of sense, man. If you don't have to have a whole bunch of labor that you're paying for and spend a bunch of time maintaining everything, and you can focus on other avenues, that's great. I've always thought, I haven't grown in a number of years at this point, but even when I was doing the early automation coming in, and people have, let's face it, have been MacGyvering stuff together for years with various different pulleys, and you make it happen with some electric motors and shit on your own. But I agree with you. When we talked to our friend Andy Williams in Denver, like, he built his whole place out of antimicrobial products, like, from the get-go. Like, the walls and the floors and shit can't get mold. So it's one thing he doesn't have to worry about. And the ventilation also all designed right from the get-go to prevent any problems. And I like the idea of applying the technology to the grow room the best you can to, as you say, work smarter, not harder. Not everything needs to be run by an app or have a robot doing it, and some of it can get expensive for the home brewer, but you start to look at the time and the labor ratio versus to what it puts some of this gear in here. And if you can get your lights turning on and off or your plants watering and stuff by themselves, shit, you're going to save a whole bunch just right there.
Yeah, if you are kind of, mechanically or electronically or, engineering oriented, you're probably going to figure out a lot of these controls that I'm going to talk about. And you can do it fairly cheap, but a lot of this stuff is already out there. You're going to find it at every grow store that exists. And what the first one I'll talk about is your lighting control. Everyone knows or has used that basic 24-hour mechanical timer that you plug into the wall. You throw on your fans on it, your lights on it, whatever you can throw on there. It's a great place to get familiar with automation and controls, and honestly, probably one of the first failures or mishaps we've all experienced, whether it's accidentally punching in a couple of those 15-minute spots or, knocking it off the wall and not realizing that all of a sudden your aero cloner isn't spraying water on your clones anymore or something like that. But, we know how important light cycles are when it comes to cannabis, so it really is a good place to start with automation. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. We sort of lost you there for half a second. Go ahead.
Yep. Another one would be the temperature controls. Obviously, since lights give off so much heat, it's important to cool your garden. I know you guys up in the north may not necessarily have so many problems with that. Sometimes in the summertime, it really does become a problem, especially with the more lights you have. But some kind of temperature control, whether that's air conditioners or air-cooled hoods, or maybe even heaters for you guys during the night's off time if your strains are susceptible to powdery mildew. And along with that is the humidity controls. Obviously, there's a certain range that your plants are going to be healthy in with humidity controls, and so there's controls for that too. You just throw it on your dehumidifier or humidifier or possibly both. Here in Michigan, we get sometimes 4 seasons a day. So, these controls can come in very, very handy.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like, if you set yourself up success from the get-go, you're going to have a better product at the end. If you're always trying to chase, oh, it's too humid here, now how do I handle it? Well, if you consider humidity and variable seasons, and yeah, I'm from Alberta originally, and growing up in Calgary, I've literally seen a 50-degree temperature swing Celsius in one day, where it's gone from 25 degrees and you're wearing your shorts out to it's snowing out. I've skied in July. Like, weird shit. So I understand the need to kind of pay as close attention to that you can, and if you can get a system that does that for you, that's quite handy.
Yeah, let me say that, the plants really do enjoy seeing your face every day. You really should get in your garden and at least check on it every day, even if you have pretty much everything set up. It's going to give you a better understanding of your strains and be able to dial them in and dial those controls in more properly. But it's also going to give them a little bit more life, I really do believe. But another one, one of those ones that does allow you to get out of the garden for more than a day at a time. I like to go camping or go kayaking or whatever on the weekend sometimes, during the summer at least, and that would be feeding controls. So I've been running flood and drain tables for a few years now, and that's the best way I've found to automate my feeding schedule. Obviously there's drip emitters and other systems out there. You can come up with a lot of different ways to do that, but making sure your plants get fed in a timely manner and not over or underfed too. Those are important.
Exactly. I mean, that even goes to your regular house plants and shit like that. You can easily kill your regular old whatever, regular greenery, not these ones because these are plastic.
Succulents.
Yeah, right? But you can kill your regular old Boston fern no problem by either too much or too little water or all at the wrong time. And it's not necessarily rocket science, but it's something you got to pay attention to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just lift their pots. You're gonna, that's the best way to learn. Again, get in your garden. One of the ones that's kind of maybe more advanced or maybe a little bit larger scale would be a CO2. This is something that we don't all think about. We're really kind of sitting at, your environment's usually sitting at about 400 ppms, but with the CO2 burner or some other way of introducing CO2, as long as it's controlled, because you don't want it to get too high because it's become toxic, is bringing that CO2 into your garden, especially during flower. And, sitting around maybe 1,200 to 1,500 ppms, which is, obviously a 3 to 4 times increase of what we're just normally used to, or the plants are normally used to. But it can be very beneficial, and you can see positive improvements really across, your plants from start to finish. And with that, one more I would say is air filtration. This isn't something I particularly use myself, but I know we had on the GrowTube last season, we had Greenleaf on, and they have these systems that, super small micron filters, HEPA filters, and kind of an all-in-one solution that really cleans your air that's flowing through your environment. So especially if you have a sealed room or maybe having problems with powdery mildew or other insects or pests, something like that might be worth looking into. And quite frankly, to top it all off, data collection. I'm a huge nerd for statistics and analytics, so I know there's a lot of ways you can do that with even the Raspberry Pi, little $35 controllers. You can set that up, but collecting all that information and then getting it in a graph and seeing the ups and down swings of your garden and the environment, and maybe being able to pinpoint the problems and quickly correcting them because it's getting too cold or something at night and you're just not realizing it because you're not spending time in there at that time of the day. So all those things put together, man, you're gonna have a garden pretty much on cruise control from start to finish.
And honestly, I think that's a smart investment because you got to go out and buy gear if you're going to set up anyway. So you may as well get gear that's going to help you grow better as opposed to just kind of whatever you can get that fits your space. Think about the big picture with it. Definitely some good grow tips there, my man.
I appreciate it, man. It's, just like I said, this is just the start of it. I didn't think I was going to be on the GrowTube, every weekend. But I could talk for hours about this. This is cannabis is one of my passions, and I'm loving the community-driven aspect of it. And doing the collabs with like you on this show. You guys are doing great work.
Well, thank you, man. So what else goes on with you, and like what's coming next from you as far as videos, other projects? Give them the plugs.
So I'm really hoping to get into distillates. I know we all love the vape pen cartridges and stuff like that. I've actually been working on refining my tech with the sauce and kind of getting the THCA crystals, really kind of growing those. So definitely some more extract videos. Things will be changing here in Michigan, like I said. So we'll see where we go with the the next step in the process, I guess. But you can always check me out at Fregrowli.com, here on YouTube at Fregrowli, on Instagram at Fregrowli Farms. And if you are in Michigan, I would definitely look me up on Weed Maps. Just search for Fregrowli.
Yes, for sure, man. We've got the youtube.com page there / the Fregrowlis. Andrew will probably pop that up here in a second now that I started talking about it. And you've got really hundreds of videos going on there, if you will. Also, of course, there they are. Here's the website, or the YouTube page. And of course, the Fregrowli.com website for all the latest.
Yeah, man. Thanks again for having me on. I missed dad time before I got on, so I'm going to take one as I go out. And I got one more fun fact for you lovely neighbors to the north. Did you know that Detroit is the only major U.S. city north of the Canadian border? It's like I'm one of you guys.
Hey, that is a nice little fact, man. Well, I'll dab again with you, man, so you're not dabbing alone, brother. I appreciate that. This is some of the Granddaddy Purple from Thompson Caribou concentrates.
Cheers, Craig.
Cheers, Fregrowli. Thanks for being here, buddy. We'll catch you again on the shows on the weekend.
Definitely. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Peace. Woo. Ladies and gentlemen, Fregrowli. And this dab that I'm taking right here is probably Thompson Caribou concentrates. Oh, it's going to make me hack again. It's so big. It took too big a dab. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die. That's it. It's over. I'm done. Did you know that I should take smaller dabs? No. Goddamn, that shit is good. I love it. That's a spicy meatball. Did you know? Is our every week's random trivia, odd facts, weird tips, and useless info, mostly. Anyway, did you know? In 2008, a Japanese customs official was tasked with planting a large amount of marijuana in the luggage of an unsuspecting traveler as an exercise for the Narita International Airport drug-sniffing dogs. The official lost track of the luggage, however, and the drug-sniffing dogs were unable to locate it. The airport asked the passengers who might have discovered the drugs in their luggage to return them to the police, but they were never recovered. The estimated value of the wayward pot? $10,000. So the moral of that story is, don't go planting drugs on people, because some people might be like, hey, drugs! And think it's a bonus. You also might give some poor unsuspecting fuck a heart attack, and they drop right down there and cause some sort of trauma and shit that makes them never want to fly again. So did you know that's not a good idea there in Narita Airport? Well, I've heard they've since changed their policy, but I think the Japanese custom now knows not to fuck with people randomly like that. But good for them, that dude. I'd have been like, I didn't put it in here. I'm not sure how it got in here. I'm not going to say anything until someone says something about it. If no one said anything about it, I'd have kept it too. Anyway, that's Did You Know? And up next is a new segment you haven't seen yet in season 3. You liked the taste of it last season, but this season we've got a new recipe. For season 3, the Wellness Soldier, Chef Cody Lindsay, and I step into the kitchen and take a look at a number of tasty treats and how to make them. This week, we kick things off with Bud at Breakfast. Andrew? What's up, y'all? It's me, Craig X. We're in the new Expert Joints kitchen. I'm with my man, Cody Lindsay here. You've seen him regularly on the show. He's a wellness soldier. He's cooking with cannabis a lot of time. What's up, buddy? Thanks for having me. Episode 1, we figured the best way to start out your day is a beautiful morning power muffin. Just something to get your body moving, something to, pick it up, get some nice heaviness in your belly. The most important meal of the day is breakfast. Yeah, this'll do it. We're gonna start with 2 bowls.
We're gonna do the wet in this bowl, and then the dry in this bowl, and then we're gonna add the wet to the dry. So we're gonna start with 1 1/4 cup flour, and then we're gonna take our shredded coconut, add it in with the dry, add the brown sugar, raisins. We got some pumpkin seeds here. I gave them a little toast up. I find it makes it a little crunchier. So there we go, we're gonna add a little cinnamon, we're gonna add a little salt. We're gonna grab our apple, we're just gonna cut the core out,
A little shred there.
dump it right in.
Big chunk of carrot to shred. That's really nice. And what's left?
Some hemp seeds, and now we're gonna work on the wet. So we got our 2 eggs here, and we're gonna crack them in the bowl. We're gonna crack the olive oil in the bowl, we're gonna add the tincture, we're gonna mix it all up. Depending on how strong your olive oil or cannabis oil is, it's just dosing your dosage, know what you have, know what you can handle, and going from there. Just gonna scrape a little bit over vanilla, and how you do that, we're just gonna cut it in half. We're going to cut it down the middle. And you just scrape the vanilla out of there. That's what's gonna give you the amazing flavor. Then we're gonna take our whisk, we're gonna mix it all up. First, we're gonna give this a nice mix, make sure this is all mixed up. And then we're just gonna also add a little bit of baking powder. We got our eggs, we got our oil. Again, we're just gonna dump it in. So if it's a little dry, you can add a little milk, a little water, just something to just get it to a nice muffin-y consistency. Because again, the eggs might have been a medium egg over a large egg. That's a nice muffin consistency that you're looking for right there. You wanna do the honors?
So line your muffin tins with paper in this particular case.
Just like that, about 3/4 full. And yeah, we're just gonna take those in a nice 375-degree oven and bake them for about 25 to 40 minutes.
Perfect. Well, let's get them in the oven and see how they taste, shall we?
Let's do it.
Perfect. Muffins are done.
Let's take them out.
Oh my God, just fantastic. Those are the morning power muffins. Why don't you tell us about the next recipe, my friend?
Yeah, we're gonna be making whole wheat oat pancakes. So we're just replacing some of the unhealthy ingredients with some of the somewhat more healthier ingredients. Well, let's get started.
Well, what are the ingredients, my friend?
Again, the 2-bowl method, wet in this one, dry in this one. Let's start with the dries. We're gonna add the whole wheat flour. We're gonna add the oats. In there, we're gonna add our brown sugar. We're gonna add our baking soda, a little baking powder. We're gonna add a little touch of cinnamon. And now we're gonna move on to the wets. So we got a 3/4 cup milk. We're just gonna pour that in the bowl. We're gonna add our egg. Now we're just gonna add the cannabis oil tincture. Again, your dosage, you're gonna have to decide how much you want per pancake. It's gonna make approximately about 6 pancakes. A couple mils per pancake here. Just a little vinegar, about 5 mils. And of course, we got our vanilla again.
And you're just gonna give it the old whiskeronis.
That's all it is, yeah. Give it the whisk. You wanna give that egg a lot of air. So again, it's just as easy as adding the wet to the dry and then mixing it all up. And as you see, we're using the rubber spatula because you wanna kind of just fold it in. You don't wanna overwork the flour. You overwork the flour, you're gonna get a
Tougher pancake.
Yeah, you're gonna get a tougher pancake, which nobody wants that.
Man, Cody, these look good enough to eat. Well, I tell you almost already, but we gotta cook them first, don't we?
Let's get them cooked up.
Yes, sir. You want this on a frying pan.
You want a frying pan. You also want to make sure you use olive oil. What that's going to do is going to give your pancakes a nice crusty bottom. These bubbles are what you want.
They're frying up good, man.
Beautifully fluffy, nice and fluffy. We're going to get this last one off. Pop it on top of the plate there, boom.
Man, these look so good. I can't wait to eat them. And between these and the muffins, this is a lot of food, man.
It's a lot of food.
Oh, we need some maple syrup, I think.
We got some of that.
Maybe we also should get some help eating them because I think there's a little bit too much.
What's up, guys?
Oh!
Good morning, guys.
Well, you guys get something to drink. I'm gonna see if I can find some maple syrup.
Now we're going to make it a nice purple berry smoothie.
Purple berry smoothie.
It's as easy as everything looks right here. Dump everything into a blender. There you go. Let's do it. Pass the blender.
There you go.
We got our 1 overflowing cup of raspberries. We got our 2nd overflowing cup of blueberries.
Then you're gonna dice up a banana or just throw the whole thing in?
Throw it in.
Throw it in, and
2
then
cups of milk.
2 cups of milk.
For infusing it, you can add your tincture or oil directly to the blender, which would use quite a bit. So I suggest using it per cup.
All right.
So there we go. We got everything in the blender. All you simply got to do is turn it on. And then you just let it go more and more and more.
There you go.
There we go. Let's pour it up. Now, how are we gonna get our medication into them? All we have is a cup of smoothie. It's easy as taking your cannabis oil, cannabis honey, cannabis tincture, and pouring your dosage. And then just mix it up. Grab your spoon, mix it up, and your smoothie's good to go. Cheers. Cheers. Now, hey, wait, what about me?
I don't get one of these.
Look who comes back.
Go leash roll a joint.
I was rolling a joint.
so.
Yeah, I noticed you didn't have one. I guess you guys have been busy. You made smoothies or something.
We did.
Nice
These are
purple berry
these
smoothies, yeah.
Purple berry smoothies. They look good. Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
Well, and that's breakfast. This is Expert Joints Live. He is Cody Lindsay, the Wellness Soldier. For all these fine recipes we found in Cooking with Cannabis. She's Laudonio, I'm Craig X. This is Chronic Cooking, Expert Joints Live. Yeah, shouts to Cody Lindsay, the Wellness Soldier, and to Jenny for joining us for breakfast. Thanks for the cooking class, big guy. If you want the recipes, check out thewellnesssoldier.com. For all the recipes, you can also get a copy of Cody's book, Cooking with Cannabis. That's a good book as well, too. We've also could recommend that you check him out at The Wellness Soldier on Instagram and Facebook, and Wellness Soldier on Twitter. No the in front of that one. We cooked up a few more of these recipes throughout the show to share with you throughout the season. Stay tuned for more tasty treats, if you will. Again, thanks to Cody. Yes, get yourself a copy of the Cooking with Cannabis cookbook, and make sure you support him. That was dope. They were tasty. Shouts to Jenny. Good to see you in the kitchen there. We had a good time together. Breakfast was tasty. Those pancakes were really good. Thank you for coming out. I only got half a glass of smoothie though. Could have poured that a little more evenly. Awesome. Had a lot of fun doing those. So thanks to CLN for helping us make that happen. Yeah, stay tuned for more Chronic Cooking. You guys enjoyed that one? It's pretty good, right? Anyway, that was that. Yes, thanks to CLN, thanks to Cody, thanks to Jen, thanks also to Grassroots Medicinal, thanks to Lone Tree Concentrates, and thank you to Top Leaf, as well as Thompson Caribou Concentrates. I've already had the Granddaddy Perp and the Blissful Wizard, so I have the Pink Death now, I think. Parker, yeah, hide behind the pillow. Over there pouting now. It's all done. He's like, that was really loud, Dad. That threw me for a loop. All right, cough attack, comeback number 2. Oh, I guess I could try putting this in the camera. Oh, I forgot to do that with the Granddaddy Perk. It was so impromptu. Let's try and put this in the bud cam, Andrew. Bang. My. How nice. Yep, that's good. Yeah, that's very good, very good, very good. The Pink Death. So as I go to commercial and cough my face off, I will say it while I can get it out. Please support all of those folks who help Expert Joints happen for season 3 here. We appreciate it. Make sure you check out topleaf.ca, lonetreeconcentrates.ca, grassrootsmedicinal.ca, thompsoncaribouconcentrates.com. Of course, join the squad at expertjoints.com, cannabislifenetwork.com, and enough.coms. It's dab.com commercial. Parks, yes. Shouts to the Emerald Cup. Ran that commercial last week. We're running it again this week. They have extended the entry. You can enter until tomorrow So if you want to get in, if you're in the area and you want to get involved with the Emerald Cup, check out theemeraldcup.com. You still have till tomorrow to enter. And I will be down there December 9th and 10th. Come join me, we'll smoke some weed. Let me see, that's a weird angle. News, that's what we're doing here. In the news, says this, bing, no, ding, 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 just about. Is a legal clampdown coming for CBD medical products? Things are not looking good for purveyors of hemp-based medicine. Dun, dun, dun. A series of police raids in North Dakota has set the stage for a courtroom showdown regarding the legal status of CBD, the non-intoxicating cannabis component with significant medicinal properties. Thus far, it's not going well for purveyors of the claim that hemp-derived CBD is legal in all 50 states. Basically, what it comes down to is they go in this story to talk about here. They're upset about claims, really, when it comes down to that some manufacturers are making about the sources of where their products come from, as well as the medical claims that are unsubstantiated made by oil producers that they say that CBD may be effective in treating tumors for cancer, and the FDA has basically said there are no enough trials to be able to support that, so you can't go telling that people, amongst a couple other things. So they're basically, the FDA has come down on CBD to XYZ LMNOP PDQ. Too many letters to keep up with. But the FDA trying to fuck with CBD. But I understand to some degree even when I phrase it, I don't want to, that's a bold claim. And as you know, Freddie Pritchard will tell you, amongst other people, and a lot of folks will preach it, CBD is great, but you kind of do a lot better if you get a little bit more of the entourage or whole plant effect. So I do like the pure isolates and stuff, and they're nice, but I like them better when I mix them with a little bit more, just to kind of get the terpene profiles and everything all activating the way they should. Anyway, the fight will continue on all fronts. Don't ever think it's going to be easy. So updated Quebec government reveals the details of their marijuana bill. The Quebec government has tabled its marijuana legalization, releasing more details about how the sale and distribution of legal pot is going to be unfolded in the province. It's not the end, says the public health minister. They call it an evolving plan. It's only the beginning, certain that we will have to adapt. But the legal age to buy and possess in Quebec will be 18, same as the drinking age. Now, they've got some real hate on in Quebec. Now, they are going to do their model only through mail order as well, too. Some people are saying it'll only be mail order. Some people are saying there'll be a limited number of stores. Could be a limited number of stores and a limited and mail order. I don't know. But the key points of their proposal: no one will be allowed to grow cannabis for personal use inside a dwelling. So you won't be able to grow your own personal weed in Quebec. That's kind of a big thing. It's also be banned to grow it for commercial use unless the following laws are set out by the government. It's prohibited for an adult to possess in a place other than public more than 150 grams. Only the Société Québécoise du Cannabis, the SQC, will be allowed to purchase cannabis from a producer, ensure its transportation and storage, and sell it with certain expectations. Monopoly. Customers are not to have access to cannabis inside a store without the assistance of an employee, and it must be visible from inside the store. It must be smoked in the same places as tobacco. Smoking will be also prohibited on university and college grounds. And there'll be zero tolerance for divers. Police will be able to ask for saliva sample if they suspect someone is driving while high, and can suspend a driver's license for 90 days if a sample comes back positive. Quebec saying, fuck you. Also a big old fuck you from Cannabis Canada, if you will. They are saying there that cannabis to pay at least $1 per gram cannabis tax plus GST. So $1.05 on every gram you buy. That's going to add up real quick. That's like 30 bucks on an ounce, right? So just in tax. So, but anyway, today the Canadian government, and then of course, anyway, it goes on. But today the Canadian government, well, this is a couple days ago now, unveiled its proposed tax scheme for cannabis, at least 1 gram plus GST, $1 per gram plus GST. It'll be at least $1 per gram because the proposed excise tax adds $1 per gram or 10% of the retail price, whichever is higher. Add on the 5% GST, and that means Canadians can expect to pay at least 15% on their legal recreational cannabis. This will most likely lead to an increase in prices for recreational users, as dispensaries will only charge GST or HST if they charge taxes at all. So now also in this is the provinces are fighting to try and say that their planned revenue split of 50-50 with the province and the federal governments is leading to conflicts already, because the provinces are going to have to do more of the actual groundwork, and so they'll do bulk of the work so that they should get a larger portion of the tax. And now they're fighting amongst each other. Not just fighting us, but fighting everyone. Oh, phone call missed from Alex. I'm guessing he needs something in the staircase or something, probably. Can you go check? That's my guess. Oh, he can't get up the elevator. He needs the keys. Anthony? Sorry. Alex can't get up the elevator. He needs the keys. So they're in my jacket or on my desk or something. Sorry. Managing to try and keep it all going at the same time here. Many things that go on then. So anyway, what I did also notice that on top of this article about this cannabis to pay at least $1 per gram cannabis tax plus GST, you can go to this website, don'ttaxmedicine.ca. Okay. Don'ttaxmedicine.ca is a website you can go to there and sign a petition to eliminate all tax on medicinal cannabis. I don't know who's putting it on. I don't know where this even came from, but I got a link to a link that takes me here. And you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Go to don'ttaxmedicine.ca and sign the petition to eliminate all tax on medical cannabis. What I did see is a little bit of a victory, if you will. Cannabis lounges should be considered in BC, says the Victoria City Council. So that's cool. The City of Victoria wants vapor lounges, and they want them to be considered. Council asked provinces to allow spaces for public consumption. Well, that's hopefully good news for the folks over at the Green Ceiling, but marijuana lounges could be in Victoria's future if the province follows the city's lead. The City of Victoria submitted a list of recommendations to the province for cannabis regulations following legalization next year. Council positions on public consumption, minimum age, personal possession, drug-impaired driving, personal cultivation, distribution, retail models were all discussed. Designated smoking areas for consuming marijuana were suggested, particularly for those who not can smoke in their home. As it's been said, and as we all know, renters specifically could face eviction for using cannabis in their households, which will be a legal substance and for many people is their medicine. So if there's bylaws from the city or laws provincially that ban it in public, that would mean there's actually no place for them to use their medicine. So we all know that how valuable that is. And of course, there's people who push back because, well, you don't have tobacco lounges, people can't go smoke cigars, but well, if the proper ventilation is in place, it'll be just fine. Trust me. Places like Cannabis Culture, places like Vapor Central, places like, well, all these different spots you see around there, they're very, very valuable and they help people immensely. Safe consumption zones, very, very valuable. So good to see the city of BC, at least, city of Victoria here in BC, BC's capital, is putting that down and fighting for that. So that's good news, and hopefully that works out well for the Green Ceiling. And you want a job? I actually thought about applying as a joke. Well, I guess my resume is not that bad. But Shoppers Drug Mart posts job for medicinal marijuana brand manager. Parent company optimistic Ottawa will allow pharmacists to handle sales, so they're going ahead and hiring someone in advance. Shoppers Drug Mart is looking to hire a medical marijuana brand manager as it tries to position itself in the burgeoning cannabis market, even though it is not currently legal to distribute the drug through pharmacies. A job posting on one of Canada's largest pharmacies says the senior brand manager role will entail leading a strategy and marketing activities to doctors and healthcare providers in the cannabis space. The development and integration of the medical brand plan will involve the consideration of current cannabis market legislation, regulations, and access challenges. Right. That's going to be interesting to see who they hire for that role. You know, because everybody's a fucking expert. That's the news. As far as what's going on with me, well, updates. just to mess with Andrew, I'll see if we can throw up the TCC logo for a second, out of order. TCC update for you. The TCC guys have let me know that their new CBD distillate will be available starting on Monday. So that's pretty cool. New CBD distillate coming from the squad. 90% CBD, 4% THC. And CBD distillate comes Monday from Team Shatterboo. What it do? Shouts to the squad. You'll be able to get that come Monday. Thompson Caribou concentrates.com. That's kind of cool. CBD distillate. Up next from the Squid Odd. So that's the updates. Yes, still smoking. Still smoking. I got one more pot of gold to hit here when we get out before the end of the show. On Sunday, we released 2 articles from James and Ashley Priest of Canalance, Pot Shot, and the Spirit of the Holidays. We want to thank expert contributors, obviously James and Ashley, for their support. And please support them by going to visit canalance.com and Canalance across the whole socials. Not that hard. Go support them, check them out. Write a bunch of great articles, good folks. They work with a lot of people in the industry. Also, expertjoints.com, latest update is one last little hurdle involves the advertising links, but we're almost there. So hopefully for next week, but if not, that might be the last update, but it's real close. So stay tuned, I'm kind of trying to build the hype. There's also another little project that's going to be building some hype coming up pretty soon. Next week on the show, the author of the book, Smoking Weed Can Save Your Life. He's from a company called, he's the founder of High Potential. Jeff Cooper will be here. So that's cool. I'm going to check out his book, Smoking Weed Can Change Your Life. Right? The Unscientific Guide to Using Cannabis to Create Extreme Energy, Health, and Happiness. Dude's a cannabis life coach. I like that. So, you got life coaches? Well, yeah, he's like a weed coach. It's brilliant. I love it. So we're going to see him coming through. Hey, my man, finally not locked out of the elevator. Yeah, it time's out at 5. Sorry about that. And I was on vibrate for a minute. Anyway, next week's also the show, we'll sample products from Maple Leaf Extractions. That's cool. We'll check out, they make some absolute fire extracts, man. So that'll be good. And we'll also welcome back the Saltwater Cowboy, Tim McBride, for another episode of Tim's Tales. You've seen his Vice video that we alluded to briefly on the show. Well, I think we'll probably get him to tell the tale of how that went. Because we've obviously heard a little bit about before when he did it, but I'm curious to hear the tale and how the reaction's been since. So make sure you tune in for that. Of course, a whole lot more. Yes, it'll be a lot of fun. I want to thank Alex for joining me today and performing. That was, no joke, one of the absolute coolest fucking moments that I've had on the show by far. That was a lot of fun, man. I really appreciate him coming through. Make sure you go check him out at Prohibition tonight if you're anywhere near Vancouver. You will enjoy the shit out of that show. I promise you, the guy is gold. Golden. Just like this shatter that I'm trying to get under the cam here. Let me go one more time on that. Do. Oh, yes, here we go. This is an old piece I've had around. Yeah, I dropped it on the floor. I've been smoking on it for a while. I can already see some fuzz on it and shit. Yeah, that's mine. My bad. I'll still dab it though. It's good. The pot of gold shatter. Like I said, I pulled some of these. I just pulled these out of the dablarium because I was like, hey, well, at least I got a couple of old leftovers. So, and this is like old. This was like come from old packaging and shit. Like, you don't even know. But anyway, we'll get more of their products in next couple of weeks. So shouts to the squad. Thank you very much for hooking up the products. Of course, ThompsonCaribou.com. Get them from you. I'm going to have this pot of gold here. I also want to thank Alex, yes, again, one more time for being here. And, of course, Ferg Rowley for the grow tips and appearing on the show. You'll be able to see him on the Grow Tube tomorrow night with our boy Dago, last week's guest. All just coming together. But, yes, the cool part, the really cool part, now I'm hungry. I kind of want breakfast for dinner. Cody Lindsay with the grow tips. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. And it's great to see you on there with the cookbook. If you want that, you can get that. But Jenny as well, too. Good to have you on the show. We'll get you back here soon enough. Come on through Studio 710. Say hello to everybody. And yes, I'm glad you guys in the chat room enjoyed it so much. Thank you for watching. Feedback was great. If I could get him back here every week, I would, guys. Trust me. But we'll try and get on more musical acts if we can throughout the season. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. There's a lot of work to make that happen. And so, of course, thank you to Andrew and CLN, Anthony, everybody for making it happen. We'll see you next week for episode 111, 111. For the meantime, Andrew, if you would, hit the music.